Sounds good to me. We have spawning down in the bottom right position, representing Storm Gaming. She needs this win to guarantee a top 2. It is Nimble Nina, the micro ballerina.
And in the upper left, in the red, the erstwhile king of North America, still top tier, Protect Esports, Neeb.
So we mentioned Neeb is still in a great position. He's going to finish first place in his group regardless, which means he will be playing Estrella in that upper bracket match. Scarlet did take down Estrella to guarantee first place in her group, which means if Nina wins this one, she'll be going up against Scarlet, which is going to be just a great match. Those two have always put on some fantastic matches against one another, and I'm very excited about it regardless. But for now, we got to focus on this because Nina can't just slack. If she does, she is going to get potentially knocked out of that second spot by Namshar. Now, PvP, both players are going to be opening up with the standard double gateway here. No max packs gateway shenanigans, no low ground gateway. What do you think the first 2 units are we're going to see from each player?
You know, I think it's probably double stalker on both sides. This is game 1. Oh, okay. Neeb going for double adapter, looking to be a little bit more aggressive, but the logic, you know, it's game number 1. They're both feeling each other out a little bit. It's a big map. Maybe you don't want to go mass adepts or stalker sentry first off, something like that. But you know what? I'm wrong. That is fine. But as we try to take stock of this series steadfast, and we talk about what happens if Nina wins, this is not the easiest route for her, right? Neeb has long been the best PvP player in North America, right? That was how he won the Kespa Cup, how he was the first foreigner to ever go and win a tournament on foreign soil since Kerr, I think it was. You know, way back in Brood War. And he still maintains that dominance.
Did Legionnaire win one?
Sorry?
Did Legionnaire win one in 2005?
Maybe. It was certainly the first.
It was either Gur in like 2001 or something, or Legionnaire in 2005. It had been at least 10 years by the time that happened.
Oh yeah, whatever it was. But yeah, if you remember right, Neeb's his entire bracket run was playing Blink Stalker Disruptor against Protoss players. So yes, is Neeb the best foreigner anymore? No, but he's still damn good. And he has been his skill in PvP has been forged in the fires of dealing with Estrella and Nina on the ladder. Oh, that's a missed force field though. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. Nina had a great trap for those adepts, was ready to actually kill them right off right there, or at least force a recall. Unfortunately, missing the force field means that not one, but both of them get out without even having to recall. That is a big missed opportunity. That being said, she's going to go into Forge and Twilight Council very quickly here, whereas Neeb going to be going for that Forge and Twilight Council. Forge a little bit later. We are going to see an aggressive move here, and the Oracle is actually going to turn on its Pulsar Cannon to fight these Stalkers, and Nina gets some good target fire there. Won't take down the Oracle. And there's a shield battery in the main base, so this isn't going to get anything done. This is going to be a good defense from Nina.
And you know, was the sentry there when the engage kicked off? I'm actually not sure, but I don't know how I feel about knocking down an already low Stalker that was probably going to die anyways, instead of knocking down the sentry that provides just so much utility throughout the entirety of the early game. But again, that sentry may not have been there. I don't quite remember. Anyway, we got Blink underway.
It was not there. It was hidden.
Okay. We got Blink underway for both sides here, +1 as well. And the only benefit that Nina has, it's actually kind of crazy how close this supplies are, really how close everything is, considering the fact that Neeb got an extra Stargate, got an Oracle, didn't get much done with it. And Nina's only up 1 worker. Well, 2 now.
Yeah, she's only up 1 worker, but she is up a decent bit of army supply. She's up 5 Stalkers over her opponent, which is actually quite a bit. Ooh, nice job from Neeb. Gonna find this third base trying to get taken. And it's a pretty good find. Pretty good find. We are seeing a hallucinated second Oracle. Oh, that is kind of funny. I like that.
I mean, you know, Nina should be aware that this is hallucinated. She sees how much damage the little tickle beams of the Oracle or of the Sentry were able to achieve. But behind this, again, it's going to be Blink. It's going to be +1. We have that wonderful gentleman's agreement, gentle person's agreement. That means that, yeah, okay, well, I'm not going to break my opponent here. Shield batteries are really strong. And even if I have a blink timing that's going to be a little bit advanced or +1, I'm not really going to be able to get through the third. Even minor supply leads aren't going to do that much. But now Nina, she's actually going to move out on the map here, looking for some of that pressure that I said was not going to happen. And there is no shield battery around this third just yet. And actually, it's going to finish right around the timing that these stalkers look to move on in. And hey, it's a 5 supply lead. Oh, actually, Nina's getting rather aggressive here. We got a warp and pile in as well.
Yeah, she's up 5 stalkers, and this is that lead from earlier. She's going to be able to make something happen with it, picking off one of her opponent's stalkers already. That's a great start right there, just utilizing Blink where she can. And Neeb's in a lot of trouble right now.
Now, we do have shield battery overcharge. That is a possibility, but look at this Nina. She's just diving on top of the sentries immediately. They go down, and yes, she will lose a couple stalkers in exchange, but she still has her sentry. She still has force field. She still has guardian shield should she want to use it. But that supply lead that we were talking about, that stalker lead, it's not really there anymore, and she's going to blink. It has shield battery overcharge. Is still available. Probes are going to be pulled to defend this, of course, but it feels like Neeb has done enough. Yes, he lost sentries, but he has more of a fighting force here. And Nina, she's going to be forced to recall, I guess, because not exactly sure why she's recalling, but the Oracle's not going to get too much there. Only 2 probes.
It's better than nothing, but oh, into the main base, Nina blinks, and she does take down that Oracle. She was down in workers for a little bit there, but she did catch up. I think partially because of the lost mining time and also just reprioritizing pro production. Both players starting up their +2 as they recognize that Neeb is not going to die and Nina is not going to kill Neeb. So they both recognize at the same time pretty much, yeah, this is what's happening. Meanwhile, we've got Ruptors coming in from Nina. What do you think about that in this charge lot meta?
I kind of like it. Yes, charge lots can get on top of the disruptors, and that is somewhat of a problem. But it feels like more often than not, the execution cost on the charge lot player is a little bit higher than the execution cost on the disruptor player, which sounds funny, right? Because Blink Stalker Disruptor is this massive micro ball of death and sadness. But, right, you need to make sure your zealots get on top of the disruptors, but also you have good zealot splits. Archons just get evaporated by any amount of disruptors. It's like 2 disruptor shots, knock down all the Archons. Because, yeah, Archons are a little bit beefier, but they still clump up rather closely. And, I mean, Zealots, similar fashion. So, if Nina can get into a position that she's happy with, I do like that. Of course, Neeb is one of the original Blink Stalker Disruptor players, so we're still looking to see him do something like that. Oh, that is 1 Stalker short of a dead Stalker there. Unfortunate for Nina, but hey, Neeb's going to back on up.
Yeah, not the end of the world. It was a nice, like, little get out of here move. She does have her first disruptor about to hit the field. This is that kind of vulnerable timing, though. Before you really get, up to 4 or 5 disruptors, you're a little bit vulnerable to this big +2 charge lot timing. And Nina, I like that she set up this really nice kind of pseudo wall here. She is getting a 4th base, which is a little bit bold, but you can always cancel that if need be. I'm not sure if I like the static defense setup. Does block off a little bit of mining, but small potatoes, not a big deal.
Look at this. We got 2 more Stargates underway for Neeb. He is going for the charge lot Phoenix counter to this, which is not something that we've seen all that often. I mean, yeah, Phoenix into Immortal charge lot Archon used to be a thing, and Phoenix has a way to deal with this. But it feels like more often than not, that's not what she is. The Stars are going to get on top of these disruptors. You talk about that vulnerable position. Well, Neeb has found it here. All the disruptors, at least in this army. How many disruptors do we have on the map? It is only 1 rallying on in. Neeb has broken the 4th base here. He got all the disruptors down. And this triple Phoenix play, I don't even know if it's going to matter all that much because, I mean, at this point, it is 1 disruptor on the field. That's not enough to really deal with the army that Neeb has.
No, it most certainly is not. I really wish Nina had just canceled that base, not try to engage right there. She needed to have, vision of her opponent's army, all that jazz. Instead, she takes a pretty expensive fight, loses 2 of those very valuable disruptors, and ends up having to sack the base anyways. So, had a little bit of a tough position for her. Now Neeb, he's starting up that Phoenix production, starting up more Immortals, getting a +3 upgrade on the way. I don't know. What do you do right here as Nina?
Well, you get a sentry. That's going to be nice for her at the very least, but I don't think that's enough. I think what we need to see Nina do is something that she's very good at doing. Split the map. Not split the map in terms of, everyone takes every base, but start attacking in multiple positions. Put Zealots into the 3rd, put Stalkers out front. Look to force Neeb into really uncomfortable multitasking positions because this army that Neeb has made, it's not nearly as good when you're looking at trying to just defend a lot of stuff. I mean, Phoenix, sure, they can get damaged, but they only lift. They don't really kill things. You need all this entire army that Neeb has put together in one great big fist of Neeb So maybe we see Nina, she goes and puts some charge lots elsewhere, gets run bys all over the place, but she's not putting herself in a position to that. In fact, she's just letting Neeb get a 40 army supply lead of charge lot Phoenix Archon. And this is just a scary position for her to be in. She doesn't even have static defense outside the 4th base.
No, she does not. That first disruptor shot is going to get canceled here. The Nexus will go down. Ooh, that first disruptor does connect. It gets a couple of zealots. But Neeb, he did all he needed to just by canceling that base. That's it. That is a successful attack right there. There's so many charge lots here, by the way, from Neeb. He is on 25, now make it 32 zealots.
Well, they just really strongly believe in what they're doing here. Now, Stalker's going to blink on forward looking for that trade, but that just gives engagements there for Zealots to get on top of things. Nice split there from the Zealots. Even without the Phoenix in proper position, the Disruptor's not going to get all that much done. And look at the supply all of a sudden. Neeb is up 50 total supply in this game. And it feels like, yes, it is, a lot of that is workers. But it doesn't feel like it was that bad. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, 52 supply. Zealots are going to move on in once again. Do we have the lifts on these disruptors? The answer is now yes. Neeb, of course, waiting until the last second. Make sure he can cancel the disruptor shot. Zealots getting on top of them as they are dropped onto the ground here. And this is what Neeb was looking for. The disruptors are dead. There's no tech in this army anymore. +3 is done soon. Maybe that means that Neeb is going to wait for that. But it does not matter here. The army of Neeb is here. It is powerful. And shield battery overcharge, it's been depowered. It does not matter in this game. These disruptor shots on the side, even those will not be successful.
No, they will not. They clutch lifts at the very last second, saving Neeb's army. He just took a good lead, took a good set of fights, and then just leaned on his opponent consistently. Nina was not able to hold on. Well done by Neeb. And he puts himself up 1-0 in this final series of the day.
That he does. Neeb now, well, Neeb already has secured his spot in first place, but Nina now 1 game away from swapping places with Namshar. Theoretically, I believe if Namshar loses, Nina still stays top 2.
Yes, I believe so.
See, if Nina loses 2-0, she goes down to -3. Who won it between Nina and Namshar? Nina lost to Namshar, so if Nina goes 0-2 and Namshar only loses 1-2, Namshar will still leapfrog because he has the tiebreaker on head-to-head.
Yes, which would be a big deal and would be kind of crazy because that would mean a 4-3 player came second place in the group, and that just doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. We rarely see 5-2 players making second place. A 4-3 player coming second place in the group would be unheard of.
I mean, M. Canning made 4th place in his group 3 and 4 with a losing record. So
yeah,
you know, it's just no, not only with a losing record, he had a losing map score, -2 map score, and he got through in 4th place, which is just crazy.
But then Masa came 3rd place with 5-2 in Group A and a +5 map score, and that would put him, if Nina goes on to lose this and Namshar does as well, that would put him at a 5-2 map score. That would have put him at, you know, in theory, 2nd place in Group B. Of course, that's not how it works because playing different players is an important thing to remember.
Yep. What's also important to remember, of course, is this is Nina's map coming on up. And it's Juggernaut. Let's get into it.
And here we go. Spotting up in the top right, representing Psystorm Gaming. She needs your energy. It is Nina in the pool.
And the bottom left in the red. He is from Tangy Sports, up 1 game, already secured his spot, top 1 of his group. Give it up for Neeb.
And there is something to be said. We've said it a whole lot throughout this. Playing without pressure is so nice. And Neeb, he's got no pressure on him whatsoever. Nina, she's got a little bit of pressure on herself. This is a big deal, the difference between finishing 2nd and 3rd. And yes, this isn't her full-time gig anymore. She, you know, does do other things now. But she's still going to want to do well. She still has that competitive spirit that we've always known and loved. Wow, Neeb getting very... Oh, this probe. Oh, it's going to get trapped. Will get picked off. Nice move from Nina right there.
The mental damage, even more important than the actual probe dying at that point. It's kind of funny, Steadfast, you talk about Nina's competitive spirit. Nina was very open. I was very loud about how she did not feel great in any of her matchups leading on into the summer season. And in fact, she didn't have that great of a summer season as it turned on out. And then she was still vocal about it a little bit. And I'm looking into the fall, I'm like, well, Nina, she doesn't feel like she's on the best form. She hasn't really had that time to practice that she would have liked, right? She does work full time now. And a top 2 for Nina that really does not have the time to practice that she would like, that has not felt super secure in any of her matchups for the last couple months. That would be fantastic for her. That would be fantastic for her, just the morale, right, as you try to move on into the playoffs, even if you do have to end up running into a Scarlet, which is a terrifying opponent. I mean, Scarlet just 2-1 Namshar, or 2-1 Estrella. But as this group started, I got a little bit worried for Nina, because she lost to Namshar 2-0, and I'm like, oh, I feel like that's a matchup that Nina should win. Granted, Namshar has looked a lot better, and maybe my understanding of that matchup was a little bit worse, but it was a little bit inaccurate. I'm like, oh no, but maybe Nina's not going to have that great of a season again. But she came back. She went 4-1 in her next 5 matches, and that is a fantastic show of mental fortitude right there. Absolutely. I think getting top 2 is going to be, hopefully she's going to get top 2, but that is going to be a fantastic result. Again, considering what we were all talking about, she's full-time. She's not full-time StarCraft anymore. She doesn't have as much time to practice. She didn't feel all that confident. Hey, top 2. She's knocking on the door.
Yeah, it's really, really nice result for her regardless. Great day for Psystorm Gaming regardless, because either her or Namshar does come top 2 in that group, and that's big news for them. I want to point out something really cool that Nina did, though. She, after killing that probe, knows Neeb. He's not going to send another probe immediately. He'll send it later probably, but not for a while. She cut her first 2 units, cut Warp Gate, went straight into a Nexus. Such a great decision. I love that. That's going to put her into a nice economic spot. Just a solid move overall, and we see she's up 6 workers right now. Neeb, he saw the time on that Nexus, and he said, I need to get something done. And he is going to be warping in aggressively off of this proxy pylon. Slow warp in pylon, not a problem. Still may be able to get something done. Nina, no shield battery just yet. She's adding on Forge and Twilight Council. This is a little bit dicey for her. This is a very dicey situation, actually. There's a lot of sentries here. Ooh, and these double adept could be very difficult to deal with. No probe in the wall.
Yeah, that's a bit of rum. And look, we have the shield battery coming on, and it's just going to go down immediately. Actually, no, it's going to be Stalkers that are going to be the bounty. Nice combined force fields here means that Neeb is going to get 2 Stalkers for free. He's going to find a lot of workers. And you know that worker lead that he had? It's not there anymore. Now 2 depths, they're going to find their way on into the main base. This is where it gets catastrophic here. Of course, shield batteries do not matter when you have 2 adepts. So 10 workers go down, 11, 12. The bounty is going to be large. It is going to be sad. And actually, the adepts are going to go on into the natural now. But there we go. The adepts are finally dead. But still, 12 workers go down. Nina now down just about 10 supply. She's down 10 workers. And yeah, maybe she's going to be able to knock this pylon down. But this is absolutely every bit, actually even more than the damage that Neeb could have ever hoped for.
Oh, that was fantastic out of Neeb. I love the decision making, going really heavy on the sentries. Nina very late with that shield battery. If she had a shield battery up in time for that push, and she had, you know, units laid out a little bit more carefully, she would have been fine, I think. But Neeb jumps on the opportunity that Nina kind of leaves wide open and takes a big lead in this game. He's got to be feeling good about this, and he's now up 6 workers. Nina is catching up slowly, but he's taking a 3rd Nexus too, and this is going to be very difficult to overcome. I think Nina might just try and get aggressive with these 4 gateways.
I mean, yeah, okay, so it will be Blink versus Blink. Additional gateway for Nina should be. She'll have 4, and I believe... well, Neeb's going to have 4 as well, even if they are a little bit later. But so there's that timing. She's going to get like 1 extra warp in round, maybe 2, depending on how chronos work over Neeb. And that will give her a little bit of a supply advantage. But you're attacking into... Yes, Neeb does have his 3rd base actually just about done here. But he's going to have +1 right around the timing that Nina has. And oh, look at this. Nina is she's even canceled +1. You're absolutely right. She's going to get aggressive. And a Dark Shrine behind that, maybe hoping against hope that that's going to be enough. But Neeb already has his Robo underway. He already has an observer on the map. And if Nina sees that shimmer, she's not going to be happy about it.
No, she will not. Blink is done for both players. Oh, Nina going after these sentries does get 1 of them, but she loses at least 1 stalker, maybe 2. 1 stalker. That being... Actually, wait, did she lose? Oh, no, she hadn't until that moment. She'd actually killed a stalker of her opponent and had somehow kept hers alive. That being said, we also have Neeb going for a Dark Shrine, and there is no robotics facility for Nina. That puts Nina on an extremely sharp timer. If she doesn't get a robo, she will die to those DTs.
Yeah, so now she's going to be down upgrades as Neeb just blinks on top of it. He's going to get all the Stalkers, or at least as many as he can before Blink comes off a cooldown. Once again, these sentries, they're absolutely dead here in this game. And it looks like we will see warp-ins. DT's warping in on the left-hand side as Nina tries to make something happen with this. How many observers are there on the map? The answer is only one. So Neeb does not have any detection in his base, and that's a bit of a problem because the observers with the army, fine, dandy. Do we have enough energy for a recall? I don't think so. Oh, that's a mistake.
She just targeted the Nexus. Oh no, this could have been so many probes. Oh, and with the recall and the observer.